Imagine a basketball world where Kobe Bryant never left Charlotte. A world where the Black Mamba didn't become the face of Los Angeles Lakers' glory, but instead became the heartbeat of the Charlotte Hornets, or the Bobcats as they were back then. What if Kobe's entire legacy was forged not in Hollywood, but in the Queen City? How would the NBA landscape have changed? How would Kobe's career have unfolded? And most importantly, how would the Hornets' franchise history look today? This is the story of What If Kobe Stayed in Charlotte. Before we jump in, smash that like button, subscribe for more NBA deep dives, and share your thoughts in the comments, because Kobe's legacy is one of the most iconic in sports, and this alternate timeline could shake the foundation of the NBA as we know it. In 1996, the Charlotte Hornets selected Kobe Bryant with the 13th overall pick in the NBA draft. But almost immediately, the Hornets made a trade, sending Kobe to the Los Angeles Lakers in exchange for Vlade Divac. The rest, as they say, is history. Kobe blossomed into one of the greatest players of all time, winning 5 championships with the Lakers and defining a generation of basketball. But let's hit pause and rewind. What if Charlotte decided to keep Kobe instead? What if they built their entire franchise around this young prodigy? Kobe arrived in the NBA as an 18-year-old with raw talent and unmatched work ethic. In our timeline, the Lakers were a veteran team with Shaquille O'Neal ready to contend immediately. Charlotte, however, was a smaller market team with limited star power, struggling to establish a winning culture. If Kobe stayed in Charlotte, his rookie years would have been tougher. No Shaq to dominate inside, no championship contending team to step into. But Kobe's competitive fire and relentless drive might have turned him into an even more intense workhorse from the get-go. Picture this: Kobe as the centerpiece of a rebuilding Hornets squad, surrounded by role players and young talent. His early years would likely resemble the path of a star like Kevin Durant with the Seattle Supersonics, carrying a team through growing pains while dazzling fans with his scoring and flair. Charlotte's small market status could mean less national exposure, which might have delayed Kobe's rise to global superstardom. But true basketball fans would recognize the grind, the fearless shot-making, the killer mentality. If the Hornets held on to Kobe, how would their team building have unfolded? Instead of investing in veterans like Vlade Divac, Charlotte would have centered their draft and free agency moves around supporting Kobe's growth. Imagine the Hornets using high draft picks in the late 90s and early 2000s to target complementary pieces, shooters, defenders, and athletic wings, to build around their franchise cornerstone. Would the Hornets have landed someone like Baron Davis? Or maybe even found a way to snag a big man like Emeka Okafor? The possibilities are endless. A Kobe-led Hornets team would have drawn more attention and revenue to the franchise, making it more attractive to free agents and increasing the team's chances to sign key players. Even without the Lakers' Showtime aura, Kobe's star power would eventually help Charlotte make multiple playoff appearances, turning them from lottery regulars to legitimate contenders. Kobe Bryant's playing style was always defined by his scoring versatility, footwork, and killer instinct. Staying in Charlotte might have altered his statistical output slightly. Less support early on, so more scoring volume but fewer assists due to less talent around him. We could see Kobe averaging close to 30 points per game earlier in his career, becoming the focal point of the offense from day one. Defensively, Kobe's legendary tenacity would remain unchanged. He'd still be an elite perimeter defender, earning all defensive honors. But would Kobe's championship count be lower? Probably. The Lakers' combination of Kobe and Shaq created an almost unbeatable dynasty from 2000 to 2002. Charlotte might not have had the inside presence to rival that. Still, Kobe's relentless will might have driven him to recruit teammates, demand front office moves, or even reshape the Hornets' strategy to chase a title. Kobe staying in Charlotte wouldn't just change his story, it would reshape the NBA. The Lakers, without Kobe, might have turned to other stars or built around Shaq differently. Their dynasty of the early 2000s might have never happened. Players like Pau Gasol or Derek Fisher might never have come to LA. Meanwhile, Charlotte could have risen from a small market afterthought to a key NBA contender. The Eastern Conference, already tough, would have had a new power team disrupting the status quo. How about the ripple effect on players like LeBron James or Dwayne Wade? Would Kobe's presence in Charlotte have shifted their free agency or playoff runs? Maybe LeBron would have considered joining Charlotte to chase championships alongside Kobe. Maybe rivalries between Kobe and LeBron would have formed in a different way, creating a new dynamic in NBA history. Staying in Charlotte might have altered Kobe Bryant's legacy in subtle but important ways. The global brand Kobe built in LA, with Hollywood, the massive Lakers fan base, and constant media spotlight, might have been smaller in Charlotte's market. However, Kobe's pure basketball greatness, his 5-time NBA Finals MVP, 18 All-Star selections, and scoring titles could still have been achieved. Perhaps with fewer rings, but with even greater individual statistical dominance. Kobe's leadership in Charlotte might have inspired a generation of players in the Southeast to pursue basketball careers. He could have become the symbol of the franchise, the player who transformed Charlotte into a basketball city. The Hall of Fame would still honor Kobe's relentless drive, legendary work ethic, and clutch performances. But the narrative might shift from LA legend to the underdog who made Charlotte relevant. Fast forward to 2025. The Hornets, built around Kobe's foundation, might be perennial playoff contenders with a stable franchise culture. Imagine a Charlotte team with a mix of Kobe-era veterans, current stars, and rising talent, always competing at a high level. The city would have a basketball identity deeply tied to Kobe's legacy. The franchise could have avoided years of uncertainty, coaching changes, and roster rebuilds. Instead, they would be a respected NBA destination, known for competing against Eastern Conference powerhouses like the Bucks, Celtics, and Heat. So what do you think? Would Kobe Bryant's career have been better, worse, or just different if he stayed in Charlotte? Would the Hornets be a dynasty? Would the Lakers still dominate the early 2000s? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your wildest takes on this alternate NBA timeline. If you enjoyed this What If deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe for more basketball content, and share this video with your fellow NBA fans. Remember, basketball history is full of twists and turns, and sometimes all it takes is one trade to change everything. Thanks for watching. See you next time for more NBA stories that make you think.